What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here, Mixer Madness for the Monday Night Wars. This is the WCW side, week 78. This is the 83rd episode of Nitro, and the 78th week they go head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, the WWF. Nitro beats Raw for the 40th week in a row. The scores were 3.5 for Nitro to 2.2 for Raw. Through 78 weeks, Nitro has 59 wins, WWF has 17, and 2 draws. This is the Nitro with a 3.5 rating. For the first hour, it's Zbyszko and Schiavone. Then it's Heenan and Tenay joining Schiavone as Zbyszko goes away for the second hour. This took place April 14th, 1997. Last week, it ended with an epic ending with Sting pointing and WWE, Sting and DDP pointing to the nWo with their bats. And they had bats in the ring, and they were pointed back to the nWo. Sting came from the rafters. That was a great ending to the last week's Nitro. We open up with last week's occurrence of this happening to open up the Tonight Show live on TNT. Schiavone says, "Welcome to the Sorvivik Civic Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania." And we have 2 jam-packed hours, and we're ready to go. We hear how Luger won the match at Spring Stampede, which had happened 8 days before this event. And he wants the show tonight versus Hogan. The nWo's music to open the show, and Bischoff comes to the ring. Nash overtakes the commentary and says, "Yo, listen up, Philadelphia. This is nWo country." Nash speaks on Luger and how tonight he's got to go through him to get a shot with Hollywood Hogan. Nash says everyone knows that the nWo were just too sweet, and then the nWo leave the broadcast location. So now it's going to be Nash versus Luger instead of Luger versus Hogan, because he has to get through Nash to get through to Hogan. So that's the main event for tonight, Nash versus Luger. Benoit opens the show up against the Barbarian with Jimmy Hart. Benoit explosive on the Barbarian with a bunch of hard shots. A Northern Lights suplex to the big man. Jimmy Hart is nailed by Benoit, but then he walks into a big boot by the Barbarian. Barbarian caught Benoit off the top rope with a gut wrench suplex off the top. Barbarian goes for a headbutt and misses. That's when Benoit goes to the top and it hits his headbutt and doesn't miss. So he hits his headbutt. At 2:35, Benoit wins clean, but the Dungeon of Doom come out and attack him afterwards. Sullivan and Jacqueline and Conan all beat on Benoit. Then the Horsemen run out to help Benoit as Mongo and Double J with the briefcase chase them off. Decent enough opening match. I give it a star and 3/4 as Benoit defeats the Barbarian. Benoit on the microphone tells Sullivan about how he hasn't always done the right things himself. That's an understatement. Benoit then says he knows if he doesn't destroy Sullivan, he knows he will. He'll finish him off if he doesn't. So how apropos those words were. Dean Malenko defends the title against Hector Guerrero, the U.S. title. Malenko with an arm wringer, and Malenko with Hector Guerrero will go behind waistlock. In the end here, Malenko retains the title at 254 with a Texas Cloverleaf. Eddie checks on his big brother after the match, tells Malenko he's going to bring out a sign of him he doesn't want to see. A side of him he doesn't want to see. Reggie White, sitting in the crowd, says he has lined up a match for the future. So Reggie White is going to be wrestling Slamboree, I believe. Rey Mysterio Jr. takes on Juventud Guerrera. This should be good. Juventud with an arm drag takeover into an armbar and a standing wrist lock. Mysterio counters, torquing the left arm, and then Juvi with a spinning heel kick to the head of Rey. Rey then comes back into the match with a drop toe hold into a crucifix spin combination. EC-Dub is chanted by Philadelphia in this match. Rey missed a head scissors takeover and Juvi drops to the floor. Juvi with Rey in a powerbomb attempt and he missed. A Hurricane Rana into a victory for Rey at 3:24. Rated the match 2 stars. It's between Rey and Juventud. Mean Gene brings in Luna Vachon, who says that she is the woman that will take Medusa's title away, and that's that. As that's it for the segment. Luna Vachon just says she's going to take Medusa's title away. The Ultimo Dragon defends his TV title with Sonny Ono against Lane Carlson. Ultimo Dragon lands on his feet and takes apart Lane Carlson. Ultimo Dragon in control of this one all along. Carlson takes the Dragon to the floor with a running lariat. Dragon hits a super kick in the middle of the ropes. Dragon then with a suplex to a bridge, getting the win with that suplex bridge combination. I think it was a German suplex with the bridge. In the end, the Dragon retained the TV title at 3:44. I gave it 2 stars. Six defends his title again. A lot of title matches tonight. Six defends his cruiserweight title against Prince Aoki for the Cruiserweight Championship, as I just said. Prince Aoki ties up with Six and off the ropes, a side headlock takeover. He ducks a leapfrog and then an arm drag takeover to Six. Six came back in the ring after a brief walk and chopped at Prince Aoki, and Six kicked him off the ropes as Prince Aoki tried to lay the offense to Six. Prince Aoki looking for a crossbody, and Six lets him have a few chops in the corner, followed by a spin kick. A Bronco Buster by Six, then a snapshot vertical suplex to Prince Aoki, and off the top and missed a somersault senton. He ate the canvas as he gave the opportunity to Prince Aoki as Six missed him. Six is then hit with right hands and sends him into a hard chop into a back body drop. A springboard lariat from the top, but Six kicks out by Prince Aoki. Six drops Prince Aoki off the top turnbuckle going first. Six up top is pushed with a sunset flip, but Six kicks out as Prince Aoki came back with a pin combination near fall. Six with a combination crossface chicken wing that he calls the buzzkill, and that gets the job done as Six makes Prince Aoki submit. I gave the match 2.5 stars. At 5:41, Six retains the Cruiserweight title by submission due to the move he calls the buzzkill. It's a crossface chicken wing. Ric Flair announced, as is Kevin Greed of the Panthers and Rowdy Piper. They all dissed the LWO while building each other up. Pyros go off for hour number 2. The Public Enemy takes on High Voltage, Kenny Chaos, and Rage versus Public Enemy. Rage and Chaos take on Public Enemy, and Enemy, Grunge, and Rocco Rock have Philadelphia Flyer jerseys on, as the Flyers were in the playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs in 1997. They actually went to the finals and got swept by the Red Wings that year, but this was in the first or second round of the playoffs, so this is just April. Playoffs usually end in June for hockey. So, yeah, the Flyers were over at the time. Let's Go Flyers was chanted. Grunge and Rocco Rock and basically high-risk moves, double-team moves. Rage is still in the ring while Chaos is on a double-decker of tables stacked up by ringside. Rocco Rock then is elevated through the tables onto Chaos, and they both go through to both stacks of tables while the crowd cheer as a Public Enemy win at 4:37. Then I give that 2 stars. Giant then defeated Big Al. I gave 1/4 star as he won in 59 seconds with a chokeslam. DDP take on Conan. The chant of DDP rains down. Conan ties up with DDP in the corner and gets an arm drag takedown. And the more fists to DDP by Conan, but the DDP gets a diamond cutter out of nowhere and wins at 2:08. Give it 3/4 star. Savage then on the mic goes, brother. And he says, tell your girlfriend not to bother me, DDP. And DDP went running after Savage, who was on crutches at the time, through the crowd. As always, DDP always chases Savage through the crowd, even though he's on crutches. Double J and Mongo with Deborah take on Harlem Heat with Sherry. Double J and Mongo were still on the same page, but they need to be in this match because Harlem Heat were taking it to Jeff Jarrett while Mongo wanted the hot tag. McMichael eventually runs in with the hot tag, and Sherry and Deborah get it as the briefcase is swung between both ladies. It ends up in a disqualification as the Horsemen win at 7:06 as the ladies got involved. Mongo made the save as Deborah was about to get hit down by Sherry, and both ladies kind of went at it. They rated it a star and 3/4. McMichael says Reggie White won the Super Bowl away from the Eagles, but the fans boo, and White gets in Mongo's face. Then Mongo spit in his face, and Reggie White then speared him and took him down with hard right hands as the fans popped. The main event was Lex Luger versus Kevin Nash, who had a lot of NWO in his corner. Lex ultimately wants the match with Hollywood Hogan, but he has to go through the Nash. Nash takes it to Lex in the main event. It's pretty much standard moves. He hits his standard offensive arsenal, his repertoire. DiBiase on the outside looks upward for Sting, but there is no Sting from above because he comes out from the entrance. That happens right after Luger wins by DQ at 4:06 when the NWO jump him. I gave it 1/2 star. Nash with a lead pipe. Sting comes from the entrance, like I said, with a bat. Sting hands a bat to DDP. He hands it back to the Giant, and he hands it back to Luger, and the NWO back off from the ring as WCW is standing tall, pointing bats. It looked so cool to have all 4 of them pointing bats. I gave this Nitro a 6 out of 10. Afterwards, we get some great Nitros going into Slamboree, but this Nitro I felt was a 6 out of 10, had pretty good matches, plus the ending was epic with Sting, DDP, Luger, and the Giant facing their bats to the nWo. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these Nitro reviews, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.